The Tragedy of Othello by William Shakespeare. Late one night in Venice, Roderigo, a wealthy but foolish man in love with Desdemona, the daughter of a nobleman, argues with Iago. Iago was Othello's junior officer. Roderigo is angry because he paid Iago to help him win Desdemona's love, but she has secretly married Othello, a respected general in the Venetian army, and a Moor, a black man from North Africa. Iago, meanwhile, reveals that he hates Othello because he promoted Cassio, a young and inexperienced soldier, to be his lieutenant instead of Iago. He promises Roderigo they'll ruin Othello together. They both go to the house of Brabantio, Desdemona's father and a Venetian senator. They wake him up and rudely tell him that his daughter has run off with Othello. Enraged and shocked, Brabantio accuses Othello of using witchcraft to steal his daughter. Meanwhile, Othello is calm and dignified, despite knowing Brabantio is furious. Soldiers come to take him to the Duke of Venice, who needs Othello's help with a military matter. Brabantio shows up and tries to arrest Othello, but the soldiers tell him that the Duke himself is asking for Othello. Brabantio agrees to go with Othello to the Duke's chamber to accuse him in front of the council. In the Duke's court, the leaders are worried because the Turks are threatening Cyprus, an important Venetian colony. Othello defends himself against Brabantio's charges, explaining that Desdemona fell in love with him because of the true stories he told her about his past, his travels, battles and sufferings. Desdemona is called and confirms it. She married Othello out of love, not magic. The Duke rules in Othello's favour. Then he orders Othello to lead the defence of Cyprus. Desdemona asks to go with him and the Duke allows it. Brabantio in anger warns Othello that Desdemona may deceive him one day too, just as she deceived her father. As they leave, Iago convinces Roderigo not to give up hope. He said Desdemona will tire of Othello soon. Then Iago reveals his evil plan to Roderigo. He said, he will make Othello believe that Desdemona is having an affair with Cassio, because Cassio was the one promoted to higher rank by Othello, even though I, Iago, was senior to Cassio. In Cyprus, an oceanic storm destroys the Turkish fleet, so there's no war to fight. Othello, Desdemona, Iago, Cassio and others arrived Cyprus safely. Emilia, who was Iago's wife and also Desdemona's maid, arrives too. Cassio was a loyal friend and a trusted soldier of Othello. That's why there's a good bond between Desdemona and Cassio as well. Using this, Iago forcefully convinces Roderigo that Desdemona is already in love with Cassio, and said they must disgrace Cassio first, to ruin Desdemona's marriage. The first step, provoke Cassio into a fight so he'll lose his rank. A herald announces that the city will celebrate both the defeat of the Turks and Othello's marriage. There will be feasting and partying. At the celebration, Iago gets Cassio drunk. Though Cassio says he doesn't hold his liquor well, he gives in. Roderigo provokes Cassio, who ends up fighting Montano, the former governor of Cyprus. Othello rushes in, furious at the public brawl. Montano is hurt. Iago acts innocent but subtly blames Cassio. Othello, to maintain discipline, removes Cassio from his post. Cassio is devastated. Iago then pretends to comfort him and advises him to ask Desdemona to plead for him. Cassio agrees. After Cassio leaves, Iago smirks, smile cunningly to himself, as this will be his weapon. He'll use Desdemona's goodness against her and make Othello jealous. Cassio sends musicians to play for Othello, trying to win his favour, but Othello sends a clown to dismiss them. Cassio speaks with Emilia, asking her to help arrange a meeting with Desdemona. Meanwhile, Othello is busy with official matters. He's unaware of what's brewing under his nose. Cassio speaks with Desdemona in the garden. She promises to speak to Othello for him. When Othello arrives, Cassio quickly leaves, and Iago uses this to plant suspicion. He asks leading questions. Was that Cassio? Why did he leave so quickly? Desdemona keeps pleading with Othello to restore Cassio's position. Othello becomes uncomfortable. Iago continues whispering poisonous thoughts every day in Othello's head. He says he fears Cassio and Desdemona are too close. He talks about how Venetian women can be deceptive. Othello starts to worry, even though he doesn't want to doubt Desdemona. One day, Desdemona accidentally drops a handkerchief, the first gift Othello ever gave her. Emilia picks it up and gives it to Iago, her husband in innocence, not knowing his evil plans. Iago thought he can plant the handkerchief in Cassio's room. Soon after, Iago tells Othello he saw Cassio with Desdemona, and told him Desdemona gave an embroidered handkerchief to Cassio. Now Othello is enraged. Desdemona, unaware of the storm inside Othello, asks again about forgiving Cassio. Othello asks to see the handkerchief. She doesn't have it. He tells her it's a magical family heirloom, given to his mother by an Egyptian sorceress. But Desdemona, not able to find it, tries to change the subject back to Cassio. This only worsens Othello's suspicion. Elsewhere, Cassio gives the handkerchief which he found in his room to Bianca, a woman who loves Cassio, and asks her to copy the embroidery. Now, Iago fuels Othello's rage, spinning stories about Cassio and Desdemona that, well, exist only in his imagination. He even goes so far as to suggest that Cassio spoke of being in bed with her. Overcome with grief, Othello falls into an epileptic fit. When he finally recovers, Iago slyly suggests that Othello should hide and watch Cassio's behavior for himself. Iago then chats with Cassio about Bianca, but he makes it seem as though Cassio is laughing about Desdemona. Othello witnesses this and is honestly just shattered. Then Bianca appears, furious about the handkerchief. Othello sees this too, believing that Cassio must have given it to her after getting it from Desdemona. Now, boiling with jealousy, Othello resolves to kill Desdemona. Iago suggests he should strangle her in bed, and Othello agrees to kill her by squeezing her neck, throat. Lodovico, a noble from Venice, arrives with a letter recalling Othello and promoting Cassio. Othello, angry and unstable, strikes Desdemona in front of everyone. He accuses her of being unfaithful. Desdemona is, shocked and deeply hurt. Othello refuses to listen and storms off. Emilia is simply heartbroken for her mistress. Later, Desdemona, confused and desperate, asks Iago what's wrong with Othello. Iago, of course, lies and says Othello is just stressed. Roderigo returns angry with Iago, complaining that his gifts haven't brought him any closer to Desdemona. Iago lies yet again, insisting that if Roderigo kills Cassio, things will finally turn in their favour. Meanwhile, Desdemona prepares for bed. She sings a sad song about a woman abandoned by her lover and, she speaks about how women suffer in silence. Emilia, bold as ever, says women have the same desires as men. Still, Desdemona remains innocent and faithful. At night, Roderigo attacks Cassio, but Cassio manages to wound him instead. Iago, lurking in the shadows, secretly wounds Cassio from behind, then pretends to help. When Iago saw Cassio will defeat Roderigo to keep his secret safe, he kills Roderigo. Soon after, Lodovico and Graziano, who is Brabantio's brother, arrive. Iago, ever the deceiver, pretends to be loyal and innocent. Othello enters Desdemona's bedroom while she sleeps. He kisses her and weeps, but believes in his twisted mind that he must kill her to stop her from betraying others. Desdemona wakes up. Othello tells her she must die. She begs for her life, denies all guilt, but he smothers her. Emilia rushes in, but she's too late. With her last breath, Desdemona says she died guiltless. Emilia bravely exposes Iago's lies, revealing that he asked her to steal the handkerchief. In a fit of rage, Iago kills Emilia. The truth is, at last, out. Lodovico and Gratiano arrive. Othello is crushed by the weight of his actions. He speaks of how he once loved Desdemona too much. Realizing the horror of what he's done, Othello stabs himself and dies beside Desdemona. Iago is arrested and taken away to face punishment. Cassio, accused of killing Roderigo, was declared innocent as Iago was the one who killed him. Lodovico gives the final orders for justice.